Arsenal's FA Cup.
Gravesend and Northfleet had a love affair with the FA Cup 8 years ago. It took them all the way to the third round and to national prominence as they punched way above their weight. Victories over Colchester in the first round and against Cinderford in round 2. Set up a mouth-watering tie against Premiership Aston Villa and a lifetime of memories despite defeat. 8 years on, the current crop are on the glory trail again. All part-timers, postmen, students, shop workers, teachers. This is their big moment in the national eye again. Andy Ford is their manager. Looks calm enough at the moment. Against Notts County, who are alive, but just after this week. The Blenheim Consortium has taken over. They're out of administration, and the fans have helped with £250,000 and a man on the board. Notts County, the oldest professional club, are alive. It is the FA Cup, round 2, live from Stonebridge Road. Gravesend 18th in the conference against Notts County 22nd in Division 2. One conference team through already to round 3. Telford, can Gravesend and Northfleet join them and set up another dream tie against Premiership opposition? With me is Nigel Spackman. Nigel, non-league opposition normally get just the one chance to do the job. Can Gravesend do it today, do you think?
They can. They're at home. The pressure's on Notts County. But I think a big cloud has been lifted off Notts County this week, with them coming out of administration a week early. Fantastic for all those supporters there that they've got together, got a consortium together as well, and lifted that big cloud off them. Now they need to make sure they stay in the league, but a big fillip for them if they could actually win and get into the third round. But that's exactly the same for Gravesend. Get into that third round and maybe getting a draw against Aston Villa again.
You know Billy Dearden, and you know that he knows the cameras are there for one reason only. What's he saying to his players now?
Well, I think just what you said, George. You know the cameras are there. They're expecting us to get turned over. Let's go out there and make sure we put on a professional performance, give nothing away early on, and let's make sure we're in the hat for the third round. We don't need to win it tonight, but let's make sure we don't get beat tonight.
Well, our commentators for the game include Gary Birtles, who played here in 1980 and scored a couple of goals as they opened the floodlights. Nottingham Forest, they were European champions there, 6-1. Gary Birtles in that fantastic European Cup winning team of Nottingham Forest. The pitch wasn't so good though, I don't think, was it, Gary? And he's with Rob Hawthorne.
What do you remember, Gary, about that night when you lit up Stonebridge Road?
I remember it being as cold as it is this evening, a January evening. I came on chucking it down with rain. I scored 2 goals, and I think the manager dragged me off because he didn't want me to get a hat-trick. He had a way of doing things like that in those days, so happy memories.
Well, it's cold tonight. It's dry at least, but they've literally gone through the roof to accommodate us here, with some of the corrugated sheets taken off the roof to accommodate our gantry. And while we've got Gary Birtles, former Notts County, providing the words for you tonight, we've got a former Gravesend legend, he tells me, providing the pictures. Grant Best, our director, scored in the second round against Cinderford, but having scored against Cinders, wasn't allowed to go to the ball. Controversially axed for the third round tie at Villa. And, well, that changed the course of history in that cup run, didn't it? Who will be the modern-day legends of Gravesend? They're the team in red. Notts County just glad to be in existence. It could have been from Gravesend to the graveyard for them. Saved with 6 days to spare before the Football League deadline. But now coming here with Gravesend, sniffing a scalp, a famous 1-2 from the world's oldest professional club. Gravesend's goalkeeper Paul Wilkerson has only joined up with his teammates today after a week off with flu. And the other concern was their highly rated striker Andy Drury, who's had a back injury but plays. Defender Paul Gibbs, who appeared in more than 250 league games for the likes of Torquay, Brentford and Barnsley, plays only his second game for the club. Midfielder Ben Walsh is on loan from Queen's Park Rangers. And the surprise inclusion is former Army man Jimmy Strouts, who started 1 game since the end of August but gets a vital midfield role today.
Gravesend will start with a 4-4-2, and the giant Shearer Moore at the back, very solid but also very dangerous at set pieces. In midfield, Strouts has been brought in to add a bit of bite in there. win the tackles. McKim very steady as the captain, and Perkins is the one to watch out for on the right-hand side. A lot's directed through him from the goalkeeper, very good in the air, and the two up front, Drury, who you can play in midfield or just behind the front lone striker, very good, pulls the strings, and Pinnock, very good striker with his back to goal. Nice to see what will happen for them.
Danny Livesey's return to Bolton after a loan spell left Notts County with just 15 fit outfield players. 3 of those starting today have been operating on monthly deals because of the club's perilous position. The former Huddersfield duo of Steve Jenkins and Simon Baldry, and Clive Platt, who got to the 5th round of this competition last year with Rochdale. 2 players are back after suspension, one-time Spurs midfielder Darren Caskey and the club's longest servant, Ian Richardson.
Notts County will also start with a 4-4-2. A lot of experience in the back four there with Fenton and Richardson, the longest serving player at Notts County. Nick Hudson will try and get forward and join in with the midfield alongside Ian Barraclough. Played with him at Grimsby a long time ago. Great left foot. Bolland, the workhorse in midfield for them, and Caskey on his day, he can pull the strings, he can make things happen. Baldry gives them natural width on the right. Heffernan, the smaller of the 2 strikers, alongside Platt, the 6'4" striker, they will cause problems. He's very quick, Heffernan, and Platt, he wins his fair share in the air.
Well, Gravesend may not win the FA Cup, but their manager, 49-year-old Andy Ford, gets his hands on silverware every day. He owns his own sports trophy and engraving business. And one of his players, Steve Perkins, has tasted FA Cup glory before. He was part of that Stevenage team that got to the 4th round before narrowly losing to Newcastle a few seasons ago. Perkins is a teacher, and Gravesend are one of the 10 part-time teams in the conference. They're in 18th place. It's significant that the bottom 7 in that table are all part-time clubs. But maybe a lucrative FA Cup run could persuade the Kent club to go full-time. We've got a full start from the kick-off because Andy Drury was so keen to get underway that he moved too early into Notts County's half. But we are away now. And there is Andy Drury, who's just 20 years of age, but really is considered to be the jewel in the crown of Gravesend and Northfleet. Stonebridge Road, incidentally, the ground here is in Northfleet. It's a combination of 2 clubs who merged just after the war. This is Kevin Nicholson for Notts County. Heffernan. Paul Heffernan just got a little shove there from Lee Shearer. Heffernan, who holds his place in the front line despite the presence on the bench of the experienced Mark Stallard. Can Caskey here deliver from the free kick? Player of immense experience. Tries to hook it in low. Richardson took a stab at it. Couldn't make anything of it. This is Nicholson. Now Baldry looks to get away. And quickly across was Chris Moore. Moore, who scored an FA Cup goal in the last, or in an earlier round against Exeter, the 4th qualifying round. This is the 4th match that Gravesend and Northfleet have played in this season's competition already. They were taken to a replay by Exeter, whom they finally beat on penalties, and then they defeated Chester in round 1 proper. That's Fenton. Oh, well, I think Heffernan was as surprised as anyone else that that hopeful ball had got to him.
That was very dangerous there. Poor defending, he took his eye off the ball. Heffernan didn't.
Here's Platt. Well, that might have turned out to be a very good opportunity indeed for Paul Heffernan.
Just a hopeful long ball. They see the defenders took his eye off the ball. He's nowhere near it. Better control there from Heffernan. Could have been 1-0.
Well, he's been in good form lately. 3 goals in his last 4 games for Paul Heffernan. There has been a great spirit of togetherness about Notts County through all of their problems. The players were training on the moors of Derbyshire when they found out about the takeover by the Blenheim Consortium, celebrated with a glass or 2 of champagne. or a paper cup or two of champagne, and the fans, I'm sure, have had their celebrations as well at the fact that the club has been saved from extinction.
It's been a bad time in the East Midlands all round. Forest have had the problems, Leicester have had the problems, Derby County have had the problems, and now Notts County. Thankfully, they're all on the right footing now, and hopefully they can progress now and get back to where they were before.
This is Paul Gibbs with the free kick. Pinnock, a potential target here for Gibbs. He hits it in his direction, but Perkins is a bigger target figure. He's expected to come in from the right, looking for those situations from which Gravesend can be dangerous. Here's Kasky. Now Nicholson. Flick on was by Heffernan. Platt looking to guide it away from Shearer, but just penalised for the manner in which he held him off.
Bit of a shaky start from the two centre-halves of Gravesend. You expect them to be dominant, the size, but so far Heffernan, who's a lot smaller, has won his fair share.
Definite foul by Richardson, climbing all over James Pinnock. Steve Mildenhall in the Notts County goal. Gibbs involved, and it's played to him, Paul Gibbs. And the hit from Jimmy Strauss almost broke for more.
It's a wicked deflection that was. Mildenhall, his first touch, he nearly lost that one.
By Baldry. Platt. Control from Drury. Decision to play Drury was taken late. They had a training session this morning. Back problem he's had partly as a result of Gravesend having to train on AstroTurf, being part-time players. They've had just one opportunity before today to get together. That was Thursday evening. Richardson hit it into the face of Pinnock. Now Lee. Pinnock. McKim, the captain. Now Lee. It's McKim again, who's a steady character. He's found Pinnock. It's Lee's ball in. Heffernan. Now Baldry. Jimmy Strauss can hardly have expected a place in the starting lineup for Gravesend today.
You can understand why he's probably in there. As a non-league side, they have to early on make Notts County work, close them down, not let them take advantage, get around their ankles, and that's what they're doing so far. Not concede, not do anything silly.
Again by Strauss, who played with Stevenage and Dover, works full-time for the Ministry of Defence. This is Nicholson. Now Barraclough. Kasky came short, tried to return it to Barraclough, and it was McKim who nipped in there. Lee. Referee tonight comes from Northamptonshire, Richard Beebe.
What will help Gravesend, I think, is the limits of this pitch. It's minimum length, minimum width, I've been told. And I've been told by the Tamworth manager, Darren Geo, speaking to him about them, and he said they're a very direct side. That will suit a direct side. I've not seen a lot of it so far. It's a bit scrappy to start with, but these minimum requirements on this pitch would help that.
Gravesend won their recent match at Tamworth 3-1. They've put a better record on the road than at home recently, where they haven't won since September. If you take out the FA Cup victory against Exeter, which was only achieved on penalties, the match itself was a draw. Gibbs over the free kick. Moore had started to make a move forward, but opted in the end to stay back. This can be an area from which they're dangerous when they use their big target man, and Mildenhall came, got the judgment right. Here's McKim. Appeals for hands against Barraclough. Here's Drury. Now McKim. Oh, this is good build-up. Drury can cross! And that was a tricky ball that caused a real problem for Fenton.
That was great build-up. People say they're a long ball side, a direct side. That clearly wasn't. Great interplay. Great little 1-2 here. Good movement, good passing. Puts it in the right area here. Didn't look up. Just a slight deflection that takes it. Didn't look up. Knew where the danger area was. Puts a great ball in. Just a deflection out.
One of those teasing balls that are horrible to deal with. Again, Fenton behind the latest to clear. Tricky moments for the central defender who used to play for Manchester City, Nick Fenton. Well, Walsh, who's on a seasons-long loan from Queen's Park Rangers, had hoped to win the corner there. Walsh able to play, unlike his colleague from Loftus Road, Dennis Ollie, but he'd actually been cup-tied, having played for Rangers in the first round, and therefore was ineligible today. Gravesend also without Rob Owen, who would normally have played on the right side of midfield, but he's suspended. That's Perkins. Ian Richardson. Up goes Gibbs. Now Jenkins. This is Kasky. Richardson looking long for it. Heffernan. Kasky. On by Jenkins. Kasky again. Heffernan. Came too quickly at Clive Platt to benefit him.
It's a testament to Platt and to Heffernan that they're both in the starting lineup, with Stallard sat on the bench. 20-odd goals in the last 2 seasons, so he's got a lot of work. He's got 6 goals, Stallard, but he's got to work back, get back in this side.
Strauss, who's given away the free kick. His tenacity, tackling and determination will be called upon.
That's what he's in the side for, apparently. He's been put in there to do exactly that, make life difficult for the midfield of Notts County, who we know can pass it on the day.
Fenton's long kick. Paul Bolland battling hard, but eventually losing out in that battle to Perkins, who's looked for Drury. Richardson, though, got across. Shearer. Bolland. Platt. Now Kasky, aiming to set Heffernan away. Nicholson. Challenge was late.
It's a bad one. He's caught him late there. Trying to play it into infield to Kasky. Just got out of there quicker, half a yard quicker than the defender. It was a foul.
Lee getting a talking to. Richard Beebe wisely not putting himself or the player under pressure by producing a card at this stage, but I would think there'll be a final warning for that. Fenton is forward for the free kick. It's Kasky's delivery. Baldry was waiting around the back. And now can they stretch them? Pinnock is up in support. It's Drury on the ball.
Well, it's unfortunate there. I think he's picked the wrong option in the end. It was a long, oval ball. He's latched onto it. It's nothing here. It's just a long punt downfield, and it's one-on-one. What are Notts County thinking about here? He's picked it up. He's looked at the situation, goes at the defenders, decides to have a shot. Pinnock's just to the left of him there. Could have played him in.
Kasky slipped it through, and Platt has beaten the goalkeeper, and it's off the line. What a saving intervention from Paul Gibbs.
There's a great intervention there, great defending, but you have to say, he's got to score there. Kasky's picked it up here. It's like a lovely little ball there, just held his line flat. I think he's got to score there. Weak shot in the end, good defending, great timing of the run, did everything right, and you think, just put it in the net. And I think the previous tackle then was as good as a stop on the line.
Barraclough. Back across from Kasky, Platt! And Wilkerson makes a fine save.
Tremendous save from the keeper there. Great ball, whipped in with pace, great centre-forward play, attacked the near post, and what a wonderful save by the keeper.
Kasky's corner again. Trying to deliver into that dangerous area with Clive Platt. Here's Bolland. Put back in the mix from Nicholson, but Wilkerson has come and claimed it well, having made a fine stop from Platt a moment ago. Wilkerson making a name for himself, and of course his brother works in Nottingham as a sports reporter.
I actually do a piece for a local paper, and he is the Nottingham Forest correspondent for that particular paper, and he looks exactly like him.
And his brother Ian, I think, was at Watford today. Don't know if he'll be able to make his way down here. Certainly won't have got in time to see this.
That's a wonderful save, reaction save. It's high, but you've still got to be in the right place to save that. Great effort, great header. Everything was right with that.
Wilkerson has had almost a full week off work with flu. Did go in yesterday. Back in time for the game today. I'm glad they are that he's made it. It's gone for a corner. Put out by Shearer.
Surprising thing at the moment is not seem to be playing Gravesend at their own game, putting things in the box direct.
Kasky's corner in towards Platt. That's the area they keep looking to.
It's supposed to be the strength of Gravesend, their ability in the air, but Notts County mixing it well with them, mixing the game up, passing it well, putting it in the danger areas, and Kasky, the man, got great quality.
Kasky's ball in, only cleared to Barraclough. Nicholson does the defending job for Notts County. Lee missed it. Kasky collects and looks for Heffernan. It's too long.
Unfortunately, again, it's Kasky. Everything's revolving around this man at the moment. He's running midfield at the moment, but he's getting it to feet very early. He's trying to pick the right passes. He's the man they want on the ball.
Kasky with a point to prove today. He was sent off when they were leading against Southport in the first round of the FA Cup last year, a game in which Notts County eventually let a 2-0 lead slip and lost 4-2. On by Baldry. Heffernan gets there ahead of Moore. Cross from Baldry. Lee was the last man back against Barraclough, who was coming in.
Yeah, it's nice to see him, Barraclough. I had a chat with him before the game because he's one of the few players still playing football that I actually played with. It's lovely to see that. I don't feel so old when I see that sort of...
It's not so good for him. He must feel ancient.
I know, he said exactly that to me, funnily enough. He's got great quality, great left foot. Played with him at Grimsby, he was a left full back then.
Here's Perkins. Steve Perkins is a geography teacher in Ealing, which shows the level of commitment he makes to negotiate the M25 every week for training. On by Drury, here's Pinnock. Just turned into trouble then with Bolland. Shearer. It's been 2 years in charge next month for Billy Dearden, and it's been crisis management all the way. There's been a transfer embargo which has stopped him bringing in any players permanently. I think he's lived from one monthly deal to the next with players that he's managed to ship into the club.
You have to feel so sorry for Billy Dearden. He did a great job at Mansfield, and he comes to Notts County thinking step up, and all of a sudden everything's taken away from him. He's not been able to bring players in, and it must be terrible for a manager when he can't do that.
Nicholson's long throw, again Platt got up, and he's getting plenty of joy in the air, Clive Platt.
Very good again there, long bomb into the box, just got a touch on it, he fouled there, but some of the time he's not going to get fouled, he's going to get there clean, and he's got to get players round him. Heffernan will thrive off playing alongside him.
Clive Platt from Wolverhampton, and Rochdale got to the 5th round against Wolves last year, and he played in that defeat. On by Barraclough, looking for Heffernan. Clearance by Lee, who's comfortable on his left foot. He's been playing recently at left back. Andy Ford, the manager, opted for his greater experience ahead of the younger Eddie McClements for this game. Good challenge by Ian Richardson, who has got plenty of experience. He's Nott's longest servant, nearly 8 years with the club now, since he joined from Birmingham. Platt. Caskey. Now Bolland. Nicholson. This is Barraclough. One-time Welsh international Steve Jenkins to Fenton. That's away by Gibbs. Clearance from Strauss.
I wondered how Notts County would approach this game, because they've been underachieving this season, still in the bottom 4, and I thought coming to a place like this they might struggle, but they've approached it really well. They've taken the game to Gravesend, they're showing them respect, but they're pushing them back, and Gravesend at the moment finding it difficult to get out the half.
Good ball by McKim. Now the opportunity to break with Walsh. Maybe tries to do a little too much on his own then, Ben Walsh.
Yeah, smelled a bit of glory there for himself. I think he could have done better there. He's cut in well. I think he could have put it in a danger area. He's got it in a good area here. Great opportunity. Just jinks inside, and it's a very tight angle. To score from there, it's got to be a screamer in the top corner. You've got to play percentages there.
He's out on loan at the moment with a point to prove. His future may be with Andy Ford and Gravesend, but Ben Walsh doesn't necessarily see a long-term future for himself at Queen's Park Rangers. And I suppose that is the danger of a day like this. You see the headlines before you see the options. Fenton. Heffernan. Dug out by Moore. There's Moore. Run from McKim, but he's in the end taking it into the path of Nick Fenton.
Yeah, he took away the danger, did very well, beat a couple of challengers. His final touch just let him down a little bit.
Gibbs throw. This is Perkins. No foul by Baldry. It's Bolland. Heffernan with Barraclough galloping up to his left. Just delayed too long. Lee made the tackle. Caskey. This is Baldry. Well, Gibbs has fulfilled a useful function for Gravesend and Northfleet so far. Some good tackles, that important goal line clearance from Platt. His experience serving the home team well. Richardson. Gibbs with a free kick. Drury will hope to pick up something from this. Moore has come forward. Aimed in Moore's direction, but clears him. Forward from Lee. Straps looking to bring it down. This is Caskey. Broken back off Baldry, who'd given up on it, and Perkins was there to nip in for Gravesend. Drury, no one in the middle to benefit from his cross. Barraclough. Hopeful one from Nicholson. That's Shearer. Lee. Manley. Time Charlton YTS player. Jenkins. Well, the best chance so far still fallen to Notts County. This one for Clive Platt.
Yeah, it certainly was. It was a lovely little ball from Caskey. Waited, and Platt does everything right there. But the tackle there, I think that was the key moment. The clearance was good, but he put Platt off enough.
Gibbs was the man in the end who saved the day on the line. Gibbs still hoping for a future in full-time football since his only previous appearance for Gravesend against Shrewsbury. He's had a trial at Oldham. He was due to play for Gravesend in the last conference game against Scarborough, but went down with flu. Drury. Pinnock. Drury again. McKim. Fenton. Ambushed.
The art of tackling is not dead. Thank goodness.
Get up!
Chris Moore. Jenkins' throw, met by Moore. Now Gibbs. Holland just caught Strats. Gibbs' kick looking for Drury, who's shown a trick or two. Gibbs wins the throw.
Drury he's shown a few little bits and bobs of magic, but in areas that not really hurting Notts County. I'd like to see him do that a little bit further forward.
Well, Pinnock got it and Richardson was high.
We're back to the Rugby World Cup there. Dear me, that was a bad one, that. Challenge won there, and he's cut across him. And he's cut him in two, dear me.
James Pinnock. Hope he did Richardson a huge favour by not really making a meal of that. Drury's moved away to let Gibbs organise it. Shearer is forward for the free kick. Clearance by Caskey. Now McKim. Caskey. Heffernan. Forward by Lee. Pinnock up on his own then. Heffernan, support inside from Caskey. Bolland, now Caskey. Bolland again. Ball to Bolland didn't really help him. Richardson just gets there ahead of Pinnock. Now Barraclough. Given away to McKim. This time Drury's up on his own.
This is a big problem for Gravesend at the moment. They seem to get one striker isolated. I think they're paying Notts County a little bit too much respect. Dropping a little bit deep, and the midfield can't get up and join in with the strikers at the moment.
Bolland. Jenkins. Now Baldry. Forward from Shearer. Fenton. Now Bolland. Kevin Nicholson. This is Lee. Drury's looking to set Pinnock away.
That's what's impressed me in this game so far. A lot of honest endeavour, a lot of 100% tackling. The referee, to be fair to him, is letting people, you know, go in and do that. You see a lot of the time referees give niggly little fouls away, but this is it's full-blooded. They're good 50-50 challenges, and the referee's letting it flow, which is brilliant.
And they're looking for Baldry here. It's just beyond his reach. Perkins. Now Drury. Gibbs. Away by Richardson. Barraclough to Nicholson. Shearer. Now Lee. Shearer. McKim. Walsh. Trying to get around Nicholson, but unable to do so.
Good defending from Nicholson. Stood his ground there, kept his eye on the ball.
Perkins. Jenkins. Steve Jenkins, who got to the 5th round of this competition in his Huddersfield days. Baldry. Kasky. Nicholson. Clearance by Shearer. Over 1 from Strouts, for which Mildenhall has made the decision to come.
I think that's what they've got to do, Gravesend. They've got to try and turn Notts County's defenders, the centre-halves, get in channels with the pace of Pinnock and of Drury. They're trying to do that, just not quite coming off for them at the moment.
Andy Drury, who does prefer the position apparently between midfield and up front, and is often at his most effective there.
If he's going to do that, the midfield have got to push up a little bit more than they're doing.
He's been taken down there by Kasky, and this is an alarming sight for Gravesend, bearing in mind that when he has had possession, he's looked like he might have the skills to open Notts County up.
He's not had enough of the ball for me. He's clearly the player for Gravesend who can make things happen, but he's dropping a little bit too deep and making things happen where it's not hurting Notts. Get him further forward, get the midfield pushed up a little bit, and the back four have got to do that. Oh, he turns his back a little bit. I think it's just connection of shins there. Then he comes in for the second one. Ah, he's just caught him on the outside of the ankle. That's nasty.
The referee didn't like what he saw, and he's booked Darren Caskey as a result. So the man who was sent off in last year's first round, Caskey, on a yellow card now. And the physio going off there with Drury. Dave Lawson is up against his former employers today. He used to be with Notts County. Drury, having been off temporarily, is back on. Tackle by Fenton.
It's a great tackle by Fenton. Again, the referee lets things go. Nice to see that.
Here's Gibbs. Strouts underneath it. It's cleared Fenton. And the foot was high of Ben Walsh.
Another fleeting moment for Gravesend since the first 10 minutes. He's not really gone from them in and around the box. This one gets knocked back in there. Just a touch there, nearly gets a foot in. Yeah, he's high there. Richardson goes in genuinely with his head. It was high. The referee's got it right again.
On by Platt now. Can Heffernan get through? It's Baldry. Flags up. Offside, Heffernan.
Yeah, looked to be stood offside there, which is a bit unfortunate. It was a good area for Notts County. He could be the key, Heffernan, this evening. His pace, his ability to run the channels. The big lads at the back will head it, but his pace will frighten them to death.
He scored in the last round when Notts County were free scoring. They beat Northern League Shildon 7-2. Congested in front of Mildenhall. They played the kick short here to Gibbs. Fenton behind the cross. Heffernan. Holland. Good challenge from Walsh to hold Notts County up. By Platt. Baldry's won the free kick. Caskey. Baldry's made the run.
Again, we see the man Caskey on the ball all the time, both flanks. He's trying to probe, he's trying to pick something out. Nearly did it again there. Gravesend will be delighted at the moment. 0-0. Grinding it out at the moment. Not a lot of chances themselves, but they're still in this tie.
Caskey's corner. Finds a free header clear. It's on the back in a way, but because it looked as though it was just going to float harmlessly out anyway.
It looked like the wind caught him out there.
Good control by Pinnock. Clearance by Moore. Gibbs. On by Strouts, looking for Walsh. It's Lee's ball in, and Pinnock attacked it and just put Mildenhall off.
It's a great ball in there. Again, he doesn't look there. He just puts it into the danger area. Expects his strikers to attack the ball, which they did.
Barraclough. Here's Nicholson. From Heffernan. This is Kasky. Nicholson's ball in. Glanced away by Moore. Baldry. Jenkins had got forward to deliver with a cross.
As well, Wilkerson there comes out, claims it was a hanging ball in the wind. He's made it his own. It was his defenders in front of him. A lot of confidence when he comes out and does that.
FA Trophy finalist in his years with Stevenage, Paul Wilkerson. Here's Walsh. Now Perkins. Gibbs. Played by Jenkins. Here's Drury. Tidied up by Ian Richardson.
Loads of experience, Richardson. He's a rock bear for Notts County when he's on form, when he's fit.
Moore. Gift for the goalkeeper. Reminder of the Sunday action coming up. Premiership Plus, Everton against Manchester City from 1:30. Tune to channel 433 for details of how you can see that one. And Super Sunday this weekend takes us to St Mary's for Southampton against Charlton. Sky Sports 1 coverage beginning at 3 o'clock. Platt. Here's Heffernan. Barraclough. Well, Lee held him off and won the free kick. Matt Lee, who actually played in the only previous game between these clubs, which was also in the FA Cup, and was actually moved to Gillingham's ground because of 3 postponements here. Notts County won that first round tie 2-1, and Gravesend got a new pitch out of it because of the constant postponements. They decided to invest in the surface.
It's certainly a better service than when we were here 20-odd years ago, that is a fact.
Perkins. There's Lee. Nice touch from Walsh. This is Drury. And here's Steve Perkins! Goal! Gravesend have got it! The man who's tasted FA Cup glory before with Stevenage has got it! The Football League club are on the rack, and it's the conference side celebrating.
Well, Notts County have only themselves to blame here. They dominated proceedings for much of the first half, but they were caught napping there. And it's this man, Drury. We've seen what he's capable of. He picks it up again deep, turns in motion, goes at people, waits for the run, which is time of perfection, side-footed into the net there. Keeper gets an arm on it. Probably should have done better. But the keeper's got to do better than that. Big 6'4" keeper. Drury, great weighted pass, invited him to shoot. He shot. The keeper should have done better. 1-0, you have to say, against the run of play.
Well, Perkins is the goal-scoring hero, but that was good build-up as well from Gravesend. Nice touch from Walsh in the first place, a well-weighted ball from Drury. And Steve Perkins, the geography teacher, had got his bearings right. He'd found the space. And a good hit, too, to beat Milden Hall. And Andy Ford will be absolutely delighted with that breakthrough.
He'd have been delighted at 0-0 going into half-time, but to get the bonus of a 1-0 at the moment going into half-time would be brilliant. His side have had to withstand a lot of Notts County possession, but they've done nothing in the danger area, Notts County. Been no real shocks today, but this could be one of them.
2 minutes he was indicating there, Andy Ford. That's how long they have to hold on to for half-time. Here's Platt. Now Kasky. Well, what does this manager do now? For every delighted manager, there's a despondent one in the opposite dugout. Still time to sort this out, though.
He's had a lot of despondency in the last couple of years, and this could just put the icing on the cake for Billy Deard. They're clearly capable of getting back into this game. We've seen them pass it very well, put pressure on Gravesend without any real threat apart from the goal line clearance. They've got the players out there. Is the belief there for Notts County?
Headed back by Platt. Barraclough. Nicholson. Here's Baldry. And Jenkins could sweep it across here, and does! And Wilkinson's lost it, and Platt has missed!
Wow. Wilkinson's come for everything. He's claimed everything before this one. Again, the wind looked to play a part. It's a great ball in here, right in the danger area. It's attacked. He's dropped it, and Platt seems to do everything right there, apart from hit the target. He's dropped it, he's flapped, he's got it under control, chested, you think he's just going to put it in, and he's lifted it wide. Two great chances he's had, still not found the back of the net.
More gloom for Billy Deard, and relief as much as anything else for Paul Wilkinson, but you'd have to say Platt, very unlucky. Platt fouled by Moore. He could have had a hat-trick now, Platt.
The first one you think it's a tap in, the second one there. He's done everything right again. He's flicked it back and held it and just not hit the target.
Jenkins. Kasky. Nicholson. Back in from Kasky to Platt. Now McKim.
One thing that encourages maybe Notts County to think they can get back in this game, they are obviously full-time. The training, they're going to be a little bit fitter than Gravesend the longer the game goes on, and it's tight, it's 1-0. Notts have got a great chance of getting back in this game.
Richardson. Away by Moore, but the FA Cup upset is on the cards here. The part-timers of Gravesend lead thanks to Steve Perkins' goal close to half-time. Clive Platt has had the best opportunities that have fallen Notts County's way. A goal line clearance from one of his chances by Gibbs. Another one saved well by Wilkinson, who later dropped one at Platt's feet, and he almost took advantage to equalise. But at the break at Stonebridge Road, it's Gravesend and Northfleet 1, Notts County 0.
Gravesend then 45 minutes from the third round. Nigel Spackman with analysis at half-time for you coming right up. And Gravesend have the edge. Top marks to them. School teacher Steve Perkins gets the goal. Can Gravesend bury Notts County in the second half? More UEFA Champions League action coming up next week. On Tuesday from 6, it's Rangers against Panathinaikos on Sky Sports 2. Milan versus Celta Vigo on Sky Sports Extra, with a further 4 matches available via Sky Sports Extra Active, including Real Madrid against Porto. Then on Wednesday from 6, there's more great football as Arsenal take on Locomotive on Sky Sports 2. Lyon versus Celtic on Sky Sports Extra, plus 6 further matches via Sky Sports Extra Active. Stonebridge Road. We could be in for a shock. It's Gravesend and Northfleet 1, Notts County of Division 2 0. Notts County having plenty of chances, including 5 corners. And the one booking in the first half was against Notts County, Darren Caskey for a late tackle. So, could Gravesend be on the way again to the 3rd round, as they did 8 years ago? With me is Nigel Spackman, and Nigel, perhaps they didn't deserve to be 1 goal ahead, but they took it very well, didn't they?
That was a great build-up as well, George, but you know, I think Notts County had the better chances. Wickerson's made a couple of good saves, and Clive could have had a hat-trick, but that's what happens in cup football. But it's Gravesend are ahead, and everything to do for Notts County in the second half.
Yeah. And the goal itself, would you put it down to good attacking play or sloppy defending?
I think a bit of both. It was a good build-up play, lovely little touch around the corner from Walsh, and Jury's onto it. He attacks the space, but look at Perkins' run. Nobody picks him up. He points for the ball, and then the defender there, Nick Fenton, the number 2, doesn't close the ball. He's not really committed to it. And then you have to say goalkeeper Steve Milton-Hall on another occasion, that's a comfortable save for him. But it does go through Fenton's legs, which takes his eye off it a little bit. But I thought it was good build-up play. But in the end, I think Billy Dearden would be saying to Fenton, you've got to get closer than there and get your body in the way. And Milton-Hall, you've got to get down and save that one.
It's the kind of goal, though, that can cause shocks.
Well, it's a shock at the moment, isn't it? Because you look and you say, well, Notts County have had all the play, George. They've had the better chances. I think that was the first shot on goal for Gravesend, and they've scored from it. And it's really down to not getting close enough and squeezing the ball and maybe switching off in the wrong areas, because that's just before half-time.
Clive Platt, before then, could have had a hat-trick, couldn't he?
Yes.
Certainly 2 goals before then and 1 after.
Yeah, it's a good run, but Darren Caskey's, you know, he's played for Tottenham, he's played at the highest level. Clive Platt, good run. He thinks he scored there, but Paul Gibbs, the fullback, doesn't give up on this. Some defenders would have switched off. He gets back to the line and clears it off the line. Great defending there. And this is Caskey's whip ball in. Clive Platt in front of the defender. Lovely header. And then Paul Wickerson makes a good reaction save and tips it round. And you'd say, well, you know, Notts County are going to go on and win this comfortably, but they never did. This is the chance to draw them level, push him forward towards the end of the half. And it comes back to Steve Jenkins here, who whips a great ball in. But with the wind, I think Gary Birtle said it's a bit windy there. The keeper drops it. Clive Platt does everything right here, but just doesn't hit the target. And as we said, he could have had a hat-trick in this first half, but Notts County find themselves 1-0 down.
Does Billy Dearden rant and rave a bit?
Well, I think he's got to say that we've dominated the first half, but we're 1-0 down, George. We've got to make sure we test the goalkeeper a bit more when we get in that final third. But at the back, you've got to keep your concentration, and people will get tighter and close the ball, because it's no good having all the possession and not doing the hard work the other end, because you'll end up losing the game. So he's got to gee them up at half-time, and if he needs to make changes, make changes. But they're still in it, and if they get a draw and take them back to Meadow Lane, they'll be happy. Well,
Notts County were saved from extinction, but they could be going out of the FA Cup. The Gravesend fans, well, they're dreaming of another 3rd round draw. We shall see. 45 minutes of the second half coming up. Stay with us. At the end of the game, we'll have goals from around the second round of the FA Cup in this programme for you. Premiership action is Everton against Manchester City on Premiership Plus, channel 433 for more details. Sunday at 1:30. And Sunday at 3 o'clock is Super Sunday. Southampton against Charlton, Sky Sports 1. In the FA Cup, it's Gravesend a goal up against Notts County. Steve Perkins, the goal scorer. And his mother bought a golden goal ticket, and she's won.
Fantastic. That's brilliant. How do you know that, George? He's in the know, you know.
We know everything. We know everything, yeah. So his mother's in the money, and Steve Perkins could really be in the glory at the moment for Gravesend. No changes we hear of at the moment. Would you make changes if you were Notts County manager at the moment?
Not yet, but he's got a couple of changes he can make if he needs to later in the game. You've got big Mark Stallard who can come on and get you a goal. You've got Adam Murray, who's the lad who left Derby, who's got plenty of appearances under his belt at Derby, but he's obviously slipped down because he had a few off-the-field problems. But he's got some experience on the bench he can bring on and change things. You just worry about for Gravesend and Northfleet, can they match, I think, as Gary Birtles was saying in commentary, can they match the fitness levels?
Because they're not full-timers.
Yes.
Many are in the conference, but Gravesend are one of 10 clubs that haven't gone full-time.
That's right, but so far they've looked very, very good. And when you're a goal in front, it does, as we were talking at half-time, really give that spring in your step to keep going, and you win it. But if they lose a goal and it goes back to 1-1, you just feel that Notts County might have the fitness levels and the experience to go on to win it. But it was an interesting second half.
There's the goal scorer. And well done with his mother too, with the golden goal ticket. And the second half coming up as they go into their huddle at Gravesend. 45 minutes to go then, and a goal to the good. Let's rejoin our commentators, Gary Birtles and Rob Hawthorne.
I don't know how much Mrs Perkins gets for that ticket, but Gravesend and Northfleet will get £15,000 in prize money if they win this tie, and with the TV money as well, and the potential for a very lucrative third-round tie, they could be quids in.
She's just delighted her boy's done well. Not worried about the money.
Well, Notts County have done well themselves in terms of performance. They might consider themselves particularly unlucky to be behind. Clive Platters had their best chances, but they need a result here, no question about it, because after the financial problems that they've had, a run in the cup would be most welcome. Foul there by Strauss. Mildenhall beaten by the only goal of the game so far from Perkins, and maybe a little disappointed with his contribution to it. Ushered out by Steve Jenkins.
Notts County have the personnel on the bench, as Nigel Speckman said, to come on and change this game. Adam Murray apparently last week did very well. A lot of people surprised to see him out of the team. Mark Stallard, as we know, 29 goals a season in this division. Exceptional striking form.
Stallard actually scored in the previous FA Cup tie against Gravesend at Gillingham 3 years ago. And Notts County won 2-1. Useful player to have on the bench, Mark Stallard.
Even more useful player to have on the pitch when he's in goal-scoring form. I'm surprised he's not gone higher, a division higher at least.
Barclough, now Bolland. Nicholson, Bolland again. Lee, Heffernan, Bolland, Kasky. Taken to ground by Strauss. Jenkins.
Worrying thing with Darren Kasky as well. We know he can run the game. We saw him do it in the first half at a certain extent, but he's been booked, and he does like having to go back at the referee, and he could talk himself out of this game if he's not careful.
Up by Drury. Kinnock just beaten to it by Nicholson, but McKim keeps it moving here. It's Lee Shearer. Foul by Matt Lee. Over by Platt. Heffernan looking to steal in. Away by Lee. Only to Kasky though. Nicholson. Nicholson trying to put them under pressure once more. Dealt with though by Matt Lee.
Not very intelligent pressure at the moment from Notts County. It's like hit and hope, this long ball in the air. It's not really finding it, but it's not really penetrating Gravesend in any shape or form at the moment.
Push by Heffernan on Chris Moore. The ball was rolling when Gravesend tried to take their quick free kick. We've spoken about their FA Cup run of 8 seasons ago, but Gravesend and Northfleet's best run in the competition ever was actually 41 seasons ago, when they went from the first qualifying round to the 4th round proper, before losing in a replay to Sunderland 5-2 at Roker Park. If Andy Ford's current charges could match that, that would be some achievement. Lee's ball in, and Moore got forward with a header.
See the danger of Moore there. The ball was good. It was just put in the danger area again. It stayed up. Just curled in there. He's made a forward run there. Good contact with Milden Hall. Comfortable save.
Pinnock. Now Walsh trying to set Drury away. Platt. Now Baldry. And it's got away, and Heffernan was there for the rebound, but Wilkerson recovered.
He recovered, and he had to recover there. It's bounced away from him yet again. Drury, for the first time, has got away from the shackles of the defender. He's broke clear. I think he should have crossed it here. I think he'd got a lot of room. There's a run being made into the box. It's a narrow angle. He's got to pull that back.
Matt Lee. Pinnock, suggestion of a foul from Richardson, not given. In from Walsh, and glanced away by Fenton. Jenkins. Barraclough. Nicholson. Heffernan. Steve Jenkins, the Notts County skipper. And here's Baldry. Heffernan, Platt going into challenge, but Moore kept his focus. Well, it was kept in, but only to Bolland's benefit. Barraclough. Cleared by Gibbs, looking to set Pinnock away, and he's got support here from Drury, but can't hold it up for him. Now Pinnock. Now Drury needs men in the box. Stroud had got in there, so too had Walsh, and just couldn't bring it under control.
Trying to be clever there, Fenton. You cannot afford to be clever. Nearly got himself caught out.
Now Platt putting the pressure on Moore, and he's got there. But he'll get a corner out of it.
I think he should have kept it in there. I think he was putting the keeper under pressure. I think he took the easy option there.
They've often looked with their corners to Platt at that near post area. He's found himself sandwiched on this occasion. He's again played in there towards him, and Moore, the player placed behind him, beats him to it. Kasky here looked to put another one onto the head of Clive Platt. Longer this time in Baldry's direction. Cleared by Drury. Forward again from Nicholson. Gibbs snatched in. This is Jenkins. On by Heffernan. Clearance by Lee. Strauss. Heffernan. Clear foul by Moore.
Great bit of ability, got himself away from Moore there. Little turn of pace there, half a yard quicker. Lovely little turn there. Moore has to lunge in, clearly pulled him down. The referee's got his spot on. You have to commend the referee. He's had a great afternoon so far.
Yellow card for Chris Moore. Gravesend could be under pressure here from Darren Kasky. Notts County need to make the most of these opportunities. Barraclough is there as well.
He's whipped it in with pace, but the keeper, right place at the right time again. Comfortable in the end, whips it in with pace, but straight at the keeper. Good positioning.
Gibbs. Baldry. Well, Gibbs maybe tried to be a bit too clever there, but gets away with it. For now, at least. Platt. Oh, he's laid it off brilliantly. Space for Baldry, and Heffernan can't get anything behind the shot.
Everything right again. The build-up was great, but the finish again, just not good enough. Great little flick here from Platt. Sees the run, he's aware of what's going on. Drury does exactly the right thing, pulls it back, but wonderful defending again. Put the block in superb. Great ability from Platt. Sees the option. Great ball across, good run at the near post, great defending. Everything right for the finish.
They are giving it their all, Notts County. But could still become unlucky victims to a giant killing here. Nicholson with the throw. Platt. Heffernan lining one up for Platt. Here's Baldry. Flags up. Won't count. Let's have a word from the Gravesend manager, Andy Ford, talking to Fraser.
Andy, what are the instructions to their players? Protect what you've got or go for the killer second?
No, I don't think you can do that. Not in a sort of tight game like this. We've got to go and try and get that second. And I think we'll have to absorb a little bit of pressure, but hopefully we can catch him on the break. Just switch Walshy over to the other side, see if we can get a little bit more from him on that side, and hopefully that might just change things a little bit.
Thanks, Andy.
Okay.
He's done a remarkable job here, Andy Ford. They were struggling in the Ryman League when he took over. They're in the conference now, and if they can have a good FA Cup run, it might give them the finance on which to build an even more solid foundation from there to push onwards and upwards in an attempt to get into the Football League even. There's Pinnock. Now Walsh. Away by Richardson. Baldry looking for Platt. And look at the space here. It's Kasky, and it's a poor first touch.
It's a shocking first touch.
Baldry. Can't pull it back. Good challenge by Moore.
It was a good challenge, but what a wasted opportunity yet again for Notts County. Great build-up play again, and Kasky, you don't expect his first touch to let him down.
Kasky can now quickly redeem himself if he can make something of the corner. He's having trouble keeping it on the spot because of the wind. Look how overwhelming they are in terms of the corners they won. Richardson went in for it, and the goalkeeper didn't get a clean touch.
Just came out and flat there. You can't afford to do that. It's a good ball in again by Kasky, but the keeper, a couple of times he's come out and dropped it. Whipped in, he's trying to keep his eye on the ball, but he's nowhere near the ball. You're 1-0 up, you've got to take your time there. You've got to play the percentages.
Mountain of a man, isn't he, Wilkerson? You'd think he'd make his presence felt in those situations. Pinnock. Oh, Mildenhall flaps at that. Pinnock. McKim. Moore. Away by Richardson. Moore again. And McKim! From the angle produces a good stop.
Very good stop. Andy Ford's right. They're not settling for 1-0. They're going for this victory for a second goal. Headed back in more then. He thought it was offside. Played to the whistle. Good strike. Good clean save at the near post. Thought he was offside. He wasn't. And Mildenhall's done well to block that in the end.
Good stop by the goalkeeper, but McKim has got through a lot of unseen work. Would have deserved hero status for that. Husky sweeps this one away. Baldry's under pressure from Walsh. Jenkins glad to clear the lines. And Heffernan got involved in a bit of aggravation there, and the referee was in there quickly and has spotted what's gone on, but how serious was it?
It was a definite contact from Heffernan. Whether he'll give him a yellow or whether he'll send him off.
Well, the referee was straight in to pull Heffernan out after Moore was involved in the protest, but it is a yellow card.
Could be a lucky boy there. Silly thing to do. Been sent off before. Just frustration there. You cannot get away with things like that. There we go, push in the back. It's not malicious, but you still cannot do that. You're 1-0 down, trying to get back in a game, and you do something stupid.
Heffernan was given a red card for an elbowing offence against Saji Burton against Peterborough earlier in the season. On a brighter note, the hero of the moment is Steve Perkins, who's scored the only goal so far to make it a great day for the family, because this is the woman who had the golden ticket, the golden goal ticket, Janet Perkins, and it's her son's goal that's under a bit of cash to go with what is a day that will already provide happy memories.
What a proud mother, big smile on her face, and why not her boys put them 1-0 up.
Heffernan. It's Barraclough's cross, and now Platt. Heffernan!
Yeah.
Just got the angle fractionally wrong.
You have to hit the target in circumstances like that. Again, the build-up is perfect. Played in, it's whipped in by Barraclough. Good left foot ball. Great strength from Platt. Holds it up, holds his man off. You have to score there, or have to make the keeper work. Great work by Platt here. Strong, just holds the defender off. And Heffernan, you've got to be 1-1 there. That is a poor effort.
There's a big problem here for Gravesend with the goalkeeper, because after the dive, when he wasn't going to get anywhere near it anyway, he's just stayed on the ground. And he had a problem anyway at the start of the season with his ankle, did Wilkerson, which he broke when he was playing in the back garden with his children.
It's not cramp, is it? Keepers don't get cramp, do they?
Oh, unbelievably.
I can't believe
it
that.
is.
A goalkeeper getting cramp. Unless he's got a strain on his calf or something. I don't think I've ever seen that before. A goalkeeper getting cramp.
Well, while he continues to get treatment, let's savour the goal again for Steve Perkins.
Great little ball in there. It's a good strike, but a poor attempt by the keeper. Very weak.
A weak attempt to get there, you
It
feel?
was a terrible attempt to get there. He's a big lad, 6'4". Just a very weak arm. You expect a keeper to be strong there, and it was very, very weak. He'll be disappointed with that.
Well, the agony might be mental for Mildenhall, but it's physical still at the moment for Paul Wilkerson, who, since that attempt from Heffernan, hasn't got up. Andy Ford does have a reserve goalkeeper on the bench in Alex O'Reilly, once of West Ham. Wilkerson, who made a good early stop in the match from Clive Platt.
Take the tape off the bottom of his socks. I wonder if it was the blood's not getting through as it should do. Very bizarre.
Concern etched on the face of the goalkeeper as Richard Beebe just assesses his condition. Let's hear from Billy Dearden, the Notts County manager, with Fraser Robertson.
Billy, how confident are you can get back into this?
We're confident we can get a goal. We've had 2 or 3 good chances this last 10 minutes. We just need a little bit of a break. And we conceded a bad goal, in my opinion, in the first half. You know, they've only had 2 or 3 efforts at goal and they conceded a goal. You know, so if we keep going, we'll get a goal. It's going to be difficult.
Thanks, Bill.
Come on, referee!
Straight back into action as he wants the delay ended.
On cue there, Billy, wasn't he? Play to the cameras, Billy.
Well, he's the man he was calling to.
Put that man on the stage.
Well, this is worrying, isn't it, for Paul Wilkerson? He's struggling to get any sort of movement at all.
He's struggling to walk at the moment, and that's got to be a concern if they're going to take this goal kick and he's struggling with his movement and Notts County get an attack. You know, it could be all over for them. They could be back in the game now.
We saw a substitute goalkeeper in last year's FA Cup final, if I remember, when Paul Jones had to come on for Anthony Amy, and here we are in the second round of the competition, and we're seeing an early end to Paul Wilkerson's day. Sad end for him. He'd shaken off symptoms of flu to play at the very last minute anyway. Had a good start to the match with this save from Clive Platt, but now he's having to go off, and Alex O'Reilly, who started the season as the first choice after that broken ankle that Wilkerson suffered, is going to come on with a quarter of the game still left.
Well, what do Notts County do here? You have to put pressure on the goalkeeper straight away. I'm sure that's Billy Dearden's message. Get the ball in and around the keeper, put him under pressure. He's obviously cold coming on there, not much of a warm-up, and you know, it's early days, there's winds swirling around. Just give him a little bit of pressure, see what he's made of.
Well, that incident alone is going to add 4 minutes of stoppage time on to the end of the match, so at least from Notts County's point of view, they're still going to get plenty of time to draw themselves back into this fixture and to earn, at the very least, a replay out of it. Here's Ian Richardson. Baldry, and Heffernan has got in front of his man. This could be the first test for the new goalkeeper. Well, it was from a back pass in the end, and the referee, having played an advantage, has now brought it back for the original offence.
Exceptional refereeing now. I think Heffernan did well to stay on his feet. I think the referee got it right. He's trying to play the advantage, which I like to see, and he's done exactly the right thing, brought it back.
Well, he's just on the field, Alex O'Reilly, and he's now got to face a free kick. Caskey's volunteered his services. So too has Barraclough, as O'Reilly tries to make room for himself to see what's going on. It's Caskey! And he saved it! His first contribution to this Gravesend performance, and O'Reilly gets it away.
Well, I said put the pressure on him, and the pressure was on him there, but what a wonderful way to mark your appearance on the pitch. It's a great save, great free kick, no back lift. He thinks it's in there. What a great save that is.
And Fenton got through the crowd, and they've equalised. He saved from the free kick, the new goalkeeper, but O'Reilly couldn't keep out Fenton's header from the corner, and Notts County are level.
Well, they put pressure on straight away. The free kick was very good. He's made a great save. The ball's whipped in. It's a great corner again, great quality. It's attacked well. It's in a melee there. It's headed down. The keeper can't get near it. Oh, he's hung in the air so well there. Downward header, through a lot of bodies, and you have to say, with this header here, downward it goes into the back of the net. Notts County deservedly back in this game.
Well, he's over-celebrated, it seems, and Fenton has been cautioned. So in his moment of glory, Fenton, whose only other goal this season was in the last round of the FA Cup against Sheldon, is booked.
That's always baffled me. It's a bizarre rule, that. How can you over-celebrate a goal? You know, you're back in a game, it's an FA Cup tie, you're delighted, and then you get booked for celebrating.
It's unnatural to expect players to do otherwise.
What do you want to do? Just walk off gentlemanly to the centre circle again and start replay. Makes the blood boil sometimes.
So Nick Fenton, who scored in that 7-2 thrashing of Shildon, could have saved Notts County's FA Cup dream for this campaign. The 199th appearance of Fenton's career, and what an up-and-down start to the day for Mildenhall's opposite number, O'Reilly. He saves from a Kasky free kick within a minute of coming on, and then his next task is to pick the ball out the back of the net.
What are they made of now, Gravesend? How does this affect them? We talked about fitness. Does that now come into play with Notts County?
Kasky, who's lost out there, it's Pinnock. McKim had made a burst through the middle, but they couldn't work it through to him. Drury, though, has found Walsh. Richardson trying to hold off Pinnock.
The Gravesend fans are howling for a penalty there. They believe Richardson may have used his arm. Just accidental. I think that just bounced up at him. Been very harsh, that would.
Walsh. Away by Fenton. Now Baldry. Jenkins. Baldry, well, there's a reaction there from Gibbs. That was an accident waiting to happen. He'd lashed out and hadn't got near him, and then he went straight into his back, and players from both sides are piling in now to get involved. And what card does the referee produce here for Gibbs?
Pure stupidity.
It's red! For his overreaction, Gravesend's Gibbs is sent off, and what a sad way for his day to end.
He had to go for this. It was ridiculous. He feels he was fouled there. It was nothing malicious there, and you can see what's going to happen. He's played it, and he's just gone in and taken him out. No intention of playing the ball. He's let himself down, and his manager and his teammates, for me.
Well, and he's not going gracefully either. He's going disgracefully, because he's back out looking for a confrontation, and the way that he's having to be hauled away while making aggressive gestures is doing himself no favours at all at a time when he's looking to get himself back into league football. And the captain, McKim, is also being shown a yellow card, and suddenly, after a glorious start to this game, it's all going horribly wrong for Gravesend.
Well, the crowd are baying for the referee's blood, but you cannot blame him for what happened there. It was a clear sending off in my case. He's gone and he's taken the player out. Definitely taken him out on purpose. It's frustration there. He feels he was fouled. He didn't get it, and that's major petulance. He's taken him below the shin. He's got to go. I'm sorry.
And now the problem switched from one dugout to the other, and Andy Ford's team, who were in control, are now on the back foot through the revival of Billy Dearden's Notts County.
Things change very quickly in football. All of a sudden, we talked to the manager of Gravesend. They're going for the second goal. They're 1-0 up. Suddenly they're down to 10 men, 1-1, and it's all gone the wrong way for them.
Down to 10 men. And the taste of FA Cup glory that they had earlier when Steve Perkins scored has suddenly gone very sour. McKim tussling with Barraclough. Nicholson, though, has lost out here to McKim. It's just gone too far ahead of him.
Well, he's trying to play a captain's part, get his team back in. He's just been bumped maybe for saying something to the referee. He's got to lead by example. He did there, if they're going to get anything out of this game.
They've had a real problem with discipline this season, Gravesend. That's the 8th red card they've collected this season.
You don't mind if it's a late tackle and it's a genuine attempt for the ball, but that was just pure petulance. It was malicious. The referee got it right.
And he made it worse by not going straight away, coming back looking for more. Two naughty challenges now, and Bolland has been fouled, so Gravesend have a free kick. Moores forward from the back. Shearer who takes. Shearer. Richardson bumping into the back of Drury. Shearer trying to keep the pressure up on Notts County. That's Nicholson. Heffernan. Barraclough. Heffernan has picked out Simon Baldry here. Now Jenkins. Kasky. This is Bolland. Good tackle in the referee's judgment, and he was well placed to see Drury's tackle, but then Baldry came back and reacted.
Billy did, having a right go at his players there. He thinks there might be a case of one of his own players retaliating, getting sent off. He's not happy with Drury. He saw a late challenge, and he's right. Notts County can win this game now. If they throw it away by getting their own men sent off, he'll be livid.
Change being made here by Gravesend. They're taking off James Pinnock and bringing on Ben Abbey, who scored in the fourth qualifying round of this competition against Exeter. He's also scored for Southend in this competition against Canvey Island good 3 years back. Plenty of league experience from Oxford, Southend, most recently Macclesfield. And Abbey's now on to partner Drury.
Difficult one for the manager. Do you try and get the 1-1, get a replay with 10 men, or do you get a striker on as he's done and go and try and win it?
Walsh looks to bring Abbey into the game straight away, and does. Done well, Abbey. Moore loses out to Kasky. Then Drury's there, Moore's there too. Jenkins brings it away. Simon Baldry. Platt. Baldry again. Kimmer's pull back, free kick.
They responded well to going down to 10 men. You think they might feel sorry for themselves and go into their shells, but they've not. They've taken the game back to Notts County.
Well, Drury has been drawn back, and that's left Abbey now as the lone striker. Andy Ford operating with Andrew Drury in a position on the right. Abbey's looking for Drury. Nicholson away. McKim. Oh, he's picked out Drury magnificently. Shot blocked by Richardson. Now Kasky's won it with 2 ahead of him for Notts County. Clearance by Perkins, who's dropped back to cover in defence. Platt. Heffernan. Bolland. That was a dangerous challenge from Strouds, bearing in mind that Gravesend are already down to 10 men. Here's Walsh. And he's fouled. Baldry brought him down. Baldry, the man involved in the incident that saw Gibbs sent off. So how ironic it would be if Gravesend were to make something of this. Drury. Oh, he looked very anxious without the goalkeeper.
What is the keeper doing there? There didn't look any danger. You thought he was just going to come out and claim it. He's whipped it in. It's a half-decent ball in, but you think, oh, come and claim it. All of a sudden, he's made a meal of it at the end.
Bolland. Jenkins. Platt. Jenkins throw. Here's Baldry. Back in from Jenkins. Heffernan. And Bolland, was he pulled back then? Not going to fall, is it, for Platt? No, O'Reilly's pounced.
In the end, he pounced. I don't think he should have been allowed to. I think Bolland should have done a lot better there. He had the chance to put it across the face of the goal. Delayed and delayed it.
Heffernan. Foul by Shearer. Oh, he's going to book Lee Shearer. Is that for kicking the ball away? Because Shearer seems to indicate he didn't hear a whistle. And I think if that's for kicking the ball away, it's a bit harsh.
I think it is a bit harsh. The referee's not got many wrong tonight, but I think he's got that slightly wrong. A little unfortunate.
Change here for Notts County. Paul Bolland is coming off. And the man coming on to replace him is Adam Murray, the man recently released by Derby after confronting his own personal difficulties, alcohol-related problems, and he's now on a short-term contract with Notts County, and this is only his second game for the club. Kaski's free kick, which was put into a testing area, but the flag was up.
He does deliver quality, Kasky. One of those players you love to see. The technique's very good. Gets over the ball, delays it there, just puts it in the right area, whips in with pace. Somebody straight offside there.
Well, they'll be relieved in a way if they can take it to a replay, but surely now with Gravesend down to 10 men, Billy Durden is hoping and expecting that his team can win this at the first attempt. Certainly going through a strong phase of the game now from their point of view. This should be the area where the fitness of the professionals kicks in.
Gravesend just playing on adrenaline at the moment, trying to stick in this game with the 10 men. I'm surprised Mark Stellar's not warming up. I thought perfect opportunity. If you want to win this game, bring him on, maybe play 3 up front and just go and get the win.
Here's Barraclough.
Well, I've seen him strike better balls than that with his left foot. Not one of the best.
Well, one or two anxious faces in the crowd now. Some smiles as well. They're enjoying their day out, but is it going to have the glorious finish of a winner?
Well, the players have done them proud this afternoon, this evening. They've been different class first half. They went 1-0 up. Notts County deservedly back in the game, but they've still got a chance of getting a replay.
Here's Platt. Jenkins. Now Baldry. Platt. Away by Moore. Nicholson. Challenged by Drury. Kasky with the corner. Richardson among those climbing in a pack of 3 for Notts County.
It's annoying when they do give it away there. Quality in a game. 2 at the far post against 1, and the 2 give the foul away.
Reminder of the Sunday action to come on Premiership Plus. It's Everton against Manchester City from 1:30, Channel 433 for details on how to watch that. And Super Sunday from St Mary's. Southampton against Charlton, Sky Sports 1, coverage starts at 3. Here's Richardson. Now Nicholson. Heffernan. Kasky. It's Moore. Platt. Richardson had to make that. Oh, that was casual from Murray. Nicholson rescued it. Jenkins. Kasky. Now Simon Baldry. Moved his way through well. Platt, and Kasky's offside.
What a great build-up there. Probably deserved the goal in the end, but again, Drury suddenly sprung into life. He's picked it up, he's skipped past two challenges there. Superb, good awareness there. Lovely little layoff, and Kasky just straight offside a little bit.
The sent-off Paul Gibbs, watching from a stairway just to the left of the press box. I'm sure in the cold light of day he will regret his actions that have put his club's day of glory at risk.
When he looks back on today and he sees an action replay of what he did, he'll realise what a silly lad he's been.
Just hoping they can at least get a replay out of it now, so that he can somehow redeem himself for his actions. Heffernan. Now Baldry. Good run from Jenkins this, if he can pull it back. Murray took a stab at it. And Moore gets it clear. Notts County stepping it up noticeably.
Yeah, they've got to step it up. They feel they can win this game at the first attempt. A great build-up again. There's been a lot of good build-up from Notts County, but the finishing effort has let them down a little bit. A lovely little back heel there. Drury again involved. The timing of the run was superb. He's looked up, picked the player out, but again, the finishing doesn't match the build-up. Just gets his knee on it there.
Well, we're already due a large amount of stoppage time because of the injury to the goalkeeper, Paul Wilkerson, earlier. It looks as though Walsh here has a problem that's not going to allow him to continue. And you wonder what sort of psychological effect it will have on Gravesend and Northfleet when they'll think they've just got to the end of the 90 minutes. They will think they've just about got a replay out of it, and they'll see a board goes up that could be 5, 6, 7 minutes.
It will flatten them a little bit. You know, they are playing on adrenaline at the moment. They're desperate to get a replay.
Played across by Murray, and Richardson slices it wide. But he,
not the man you want it to fall to, really, the centre-half.
He has got a corner out of it. Fenton's there again.
Referee's given a foul there against Fenton, but again, he's risen well. He hangs very well in the air.
And Pat Gradley here is set to come on for Gravesend. And it's Ben Walsh, who, as we saw earlier, was injured, who hobbles away. Bradley, who is a central midfielder, has come out to occupy a position on the right. Player released by Queen's Park Rangers. Gradley never made the first team there. We're hearing that as things stand at the moment, there'll be 7 additional minutes.
7 minutes, that will flatten them. You see that board go up and you think your shoulders droop. Another 7 minutes to hold out. They've got to protect the back four, the midfield. They've got to leave Abbey up, as they're doing by himself, and just grind out a draw if they possibly can.
Oh, McKim dived in, and he's on a yellow card already, and he might be very lucky there to have got away with that.
I think Notts County taking the free kick quickly has let him off the hook a little bit there.
Very lucky indeed.
He was scratching his head there. He considered himself a little bit fortunate. He's going in there. He dives in with both feet. He gets the ball. Yeah, he gets the ball.
Richard Beebe, though, did give the free kick, and often it's the manner of those challenges, not whether they've got the ball or not, that convinces them that players are in the wrong. Andy Ford has tasted cup glory as a player. He was in a Swindon team from the 3rd Division that knocked Arsenal of the top flight out of the League Cup in the quarter-finals of the competition 24 years ago. He was dropped for the semi-final. Well, the additional time board has now gone up, and confirmation that it will be 7 extra minutes. And
it's the most ever, that, isn't it? I've never seen 7 done before.
Well, you could understand it in a way if Gravesend chins are on the floor. Battling on for the 7 extra minutes with just 10 men. Here's Bradley, the man who's just come on. Here's a fresh pair of legs.
Intelligent there from Bradley, just trying to kill time, just trying to run it out, get a free kick, get a throw in, anything he can to just make that clock go round.
16th of December is the date currently scheduled for the replay at Meadow Lane. Kasky. On by Shearer. Nicholson's clearance, picking out Heffernan. Kasky. Heffernan. It's Nicholson's cross. And it's met by Moore. Heffernan. Kasky. It's fallen for Platt. Clive Platt has done it! In the FA Cup, as in business, Notts County are back from the brink. They were a goal down, they levelled, and now Clive Platt in injury time has surely won it for Billy Dearden's team to put them into the 3rd round.
Yeah, you've got to say, they were on top in the second half when they got the equaliser. Then they got the man sent off. Ball in by Kasky here. It was just prodded back by Gravesend player straight into the path of Platt. He's had so many chances, but he's drilled that hard and low. Here we go, a toe end there. Unfortunate, that's how you look out. What a great finish there from Platt. Probably the hardest of his chances. Little touch that just takes it through, stood up well, and it's a great finish. Drilled it hard and low.
Clive Platt with a 6th goal of the season could well now have earned Notts County a potentially money-spinning tie in the 3rd round of the FA Cup. But Andy Ford will gamble. He'll want men forward to try and rescue this. What a sad day for the fans who thought this was going to be a day of glory. But now it looks as though it might have been snatched away from them.
And how must Gibbs be feeling now for his moment of madness? They're going for broke, they've thrown more up front. Perkins has gone as a centre forward as well.
Is he going to slip out of the stadium now, Paul Gibbs?
Be a good idea.
Yeah, it might be a day to hide his face.
Mr. Popular.
Here's Strats. close up there. Oh, they almost got the equaliser. Fine save from Mildenhall on that occasion.
It's a wonderful save. No wonder he's getting a pat on the back. Great ball in, great leap here. And you think top corner. What a top draw save that is. Great ball in, times it to perfection. Wonderful save.
Well, we're used to seeing the name Shearer on the score sheet. It could have been Lee Shearer then for Gravesend and Northfleet, but he was denied by a fine stop from Mildenhall. Here's Heffernan. He's got the edge and he's got support too from Baldry. Simon Baldry. Oh, it's wide.
Dear me, just dragged it wide. No wonder he's got a smile on his face. Heffernan done well. He could have laid it off a bit quick earlier, but oh, he's just scuffed it. Look, just nearly dribbles in the corner.
Well, Notts County overwhelmingly ahead in the number of attempts they've had. Murray. Challenge from Perkins, for whom the day started so well. At least he's got his mum's winnings to look forward to a slice of. Small consolation now.
And the smile of half-time and the money winnings has suddenly gone.
Well, it's been a fully committed game, 41 fouls committed during it. And Paul Gibbs' act of folly, the thing that really has turned the game in Notts County's favour.
Definitely. You just wondered what's going through his mind, or went through his mind, when he actually perpetrated the act.
Header out by Moore. Gravesend fans trying to motivate them for one last effort. Jenkins, Baldry. Fenton. And what a week it's been for the Football League's oldest club. 3 days after being saved from extinction, they've come back from the brink to preserve their FA Cup dream. Clive Platt getting the winner in injury time after Gravesend and Northfleet, their part-time opponents, had taken a first-half lead through Steve Perkins. Billy Dearden's team equalised through Nick Fenton shortly after Gravesend had lost their goalkeeper Paul Wilkerson to injury. After that, they lost their defender Paul Gibbs, who was crazily sent off and left the field only reluctantly. And then it all went wrong for Andy Ford's team, with the late winner scored by Platt to win the day for the East Midlanders. Quite a week for Notts County.
Quite a week, and they'll think themselves fortunate to win this game 2-1. Found themselves 1-0 down at half-time. The game was in Gravesend's grasp. Notts County, you have to say, deserved to get back in the game at 1-0. And then the moment of madness that has let everybody in this ground down. From a Gravesend perspective, moment of madness, petulance, gets Gibbs sent off, they go down to 10 men, and then they concede late on. It must be a heartbreaking feeling for their players. Great lift for Notts County after the turbulent times they've had. But what a letdown to lose a game on a moment of total madness.
Poor old Alex O'Reilly, the substitute goalkeeper, who made a good save just after coming on, and then from the resulting corner conceded the equaliser to Nick Fenton that turned the game. In the end, then, Gravesend is not the graveyard for Notts County in the FA Cup this season. They turned it around to win at Stonebridge Road, and it's finished Gravesend and Northfleet 1, Notts County 2.
Thanks to Rob Hawthorne and to Gary Birtles. Reaction from the ground coming up, and from Nigel Spackman, and we have other goals in the FA Cup as well. But at Stonebridge Road, it was Gravesend 1, Notts County 2. The league club going through thanks to Clive Platt. And Accrington Stanley were in business as well, and going ahead at AFC Bournemouth. Find out the result when we come back. So Notts County go through, but it was a close run thing. Gravesend taking the lead, being pegged back and then going down to 10 men before Notts County got the winning goal. Bookings: Chris Moore for Gravesend, Steve McKim the captain, Lee Shearer and Paul Gibbs was sent off. A moment of madness. Nick Fenton was booked for celebrating his goal for Notts County, and Paul Heffernan as well booked in the second half. The man of the match is Notts County's Darren Caskey, and he's with the goal scorer from Gravesend, Steve Perkins, and the Bothwick, Fraser Robertson.
Darren, you're a relieved man after that?
Yeah, definitely. We knew it was going to be a tough game today, and we felt if we could have got the first goal, we thought it was a little bit on top. We felt if we could have got the first goal, then it might have been a bit more easy for us. But we turned it into a typical FA Cup tie, sendings off and everything. But we come through at the end.
Did the sending off turn it from perhaps settling for a draw and a replay into you guys saying, let's go for the winner?
No, not really. Half time, the gaffer gave us a bit of a roasting, really. We knew he's well below par. And we thought if we could get it down and pass it around the second half. But obviously it changes the game. Obviously when you've got 10 men, it's a lot more difficult. But it was a good atmosphere today, and they played really well and gave us a good game.
Clive Platt, he missed a few chances in the first half. Do you think it wasn't going to happen for him then? He got it at the end?
Yeah, maybe he might have thought that. But, we showed a little bit of character second half because, I think maybe this was a Sky game because you might have thought we was going to get turned over today. But we showed a lot of character second half, especially coming in 1-0 down. And, the boys done great in there.
Steve, how disappointed are you to lose that?
Extremely disappointed. I thought we could have nicked a draw at the end, but the sending off I thought did have a little bit to do with it, and having that one less man, we were pushing forward a little bit too much. But saying that, we rode our luck a couple of times, and they could have been level earlier on, I think. Yeah.
Going down to 10 men, and of course the part-timers yourselves against the full-time team, did that make a big difference as well?
It does make a difference, yeah, no matter what you say. Last 15, last 20, I think a few of us were out on our legs a little bit. I know I was, but yeah, it makes a difference that you can see they're full-time with their touch, that extra little bit, so yeah, disappointed.
When you had the 1-0 lead into the second half, were you caught between trying to protect that and perhaps going for the second?
I think it does go through your mind, certainly. Yeah, possibly, but it's happened a couple of times in the league of late. Last Saturday, I think it happened, we went 1-0 up and we just surrendered the lead needlessly. Set piece again, but yeah, we were chasing it when we went 1-1.
Darren, the team played well in going down to Chelsea at Stamford Bridge in the Carling Cup. You fancy them again perhaps in the third round now, even at your place?
I don't know about Chelsea, but that was a good experience for us, and we want a home tie. Maybe if you get a couple of home ties that we get through, and then maybe a big tie, that'd be nice, because we did enjoy the experience of going out and playing Chelsea.
Okay, Darren, you are the FA Partners Man of the Match tonight. Well done.
Thank you a lot. Cheers. Thank you.
And the way things stand, the money's probably more useful to Notts County at the moment than to Gravesend. With me is Nigel Spackman, and well, it was the sending off, Nigel, wasn't it? It has to be said. But let's go through it, and Steve Perkins got the goal there early on, gave them the glory start, didn't he?
Yeah, against the run and play, really, George, but it was a good build-up play. Walks around the corner and Jury running at the defence, but as Billy did and said when we interviewed him, he wasn't happy with the defending here because they'd had all the play and switched off at the back, and Nick Fenton doesn't close down, and no real enthusiasm in his play to go and close the ball down, which Perkins scores from. And then you have to look at the goalkeeper as well. Steve Mildenhall really doesn't get down very well to this, and 9 times out of 10 he would have saved this quite comfortably, but on the occasion it does go through Fenton's legs, which might have made it a bit more difficult, but it should have been a comfortable save for him. But they both made up for those errors later on in the game.
They did. And the keeper going off, Paul Wilkerson, that made a difference as well, because it not only added 7 minutes on, it brought on a goalkeeper who wasn't freshened up.
He wasn't. He didn't really have time to warm up, and we said, well, will he be picking this out the back of the net before he's actually touched the balls with his hands? But this is a fantastic save. Darren Caskey, who played well all night, but Alex O'Reilly gets across. It was a great save. He gets his right arm up and pushes it away. Darren Caskey, as we said, was instrumental in all the good play from Notts County tonight and got the man of the match. This is his corner as he whips it in. And there's Nick Fenton, heads it down like a good centre forward, not a centre half, but O'Reilly has to pick this out the back of the net, unfortunately for him. It does go through a lot of players. I don't think he had much chance. It's headed down and underneath him, and Notts County deserved to get back into it.
Not much you can say about the sending off. It was straight red and worthy of a straight red, wasn't it?
Well, it was, and I think what he thinks here, Paul Gibbs, is that he's been fouled by Simon Baldry. If you look here, he's looking for the foul because he feels the referee should give it, but then he's got no excuse for that tackle there, and it does change the course of the game because this is in the 72nd minute, and they have to play 20 minutes at least with 10 men.
That's the 8th red card of the season. It does say something about Gravesend's season, doesn't it?
It does really, and I think Andy Ford would be very, very disappointed with the reaction of Paul Gibbs here, not just getting sent off, but reaction after the game. Should have just gone down the tunnel and got on with it. But he feels he's been fouled there, that's what it is. But he's an experienced player, he should know you can't do this sort of thing. And Simon Baldry lays it off, and he goes to really kick him, then catches him on the shin, he goes down, and then reacts afterwards. So I think Gary Birtles called it right on commentary. He said it was a reckless challenge, deserved to get a straight red card. That's what he got. But I think for all his teammates and his manager, I think he owes them an apology for that.
They survived for 20 minutes until the 93rd minute when Clive Plack got the winning goal. He'd have been suspended for the replay, so he's done himself a favour by getting the goal.
Yeah, but he had 3 good chances in the first half. You know, the keeper made a couple of good saves. Maybe he should have done better on another occasion. But Caskey's little ball round the corner is intercepted, but Clive Plack gets on the end of it, one touch, and he hits it hard and low across the goalkeeper. We see it better from this angle. Hard and low across the keeper, and the keeper doesn't get a chance to set himself because he's hit it so early. You can see O'Reilly can't get his hands up. Little touch there, hard and low across the goalkeeper, and it's in the back of the net before he can really set himself, and that killed the game. And I think overall you have to say that Notts County deservedly won, but all credit to Gravesend and Fleetwood. They kept going and going and going, and maybe think they should have had a replay.
And they may have done with a header in the last minute.
And this is what I was on about. Both players, Fenton and Mildenhall, making up for themselves. It's a great ball in. Shearer gets a fantastic header, and Mildenhall makes a marvellous save, which could have made it 2-1 and a replay back at Meadow Lane.
OK, now let's listen to the manager, Andy Ford of Gravesend. Disappointed, I'm sure. Let's see what he thinks. He's with Fraser Robertson.
Andy, express your disappointment at not holding on to the lead.
Yeah, just said to the lads I'm proud of them. They've given everything they had for us out there today. But 2 little areas we got undone by, defending a corner. That's the 3rd week running that we've let in a go from corners, and that's got to be brushed up on. And a little bit of discipline at the end, trying to keep 11 men on the pitch. I said to all the lads before the game, we must make sure that we do keep our discipline and keep 11 men on the pitch. And that's what was disappointing me, those 2 areas. But take those 2 areas out of it, we've competed, and I'm very proud of them.
How significant was the sending off and you losing the game in the end?
Yeah, I think we were under a bit of pressure, throughout the game, and we expected to absorb a bit of pressure, and we did. And I think, to be honest, if we'd have kept 11 men, it would have been a little bit difficult for them. And I think we were probably looking at a replay, to be honest. But I'm disappointed about the defence. I want to see that, obviously, as well. And but we've come unstuck a couple of times recently, as I said, and we've got to brush up on that.
Thanks, Andy.
OK.
Well, it wasn't bad, was it, for Gravesend, Nigel?
No, I think it also he'll look at it and say we could have done a little bit better here, a little bit. But I think with 10 men for 20 minutes, normally a defender would have got there for the second goal for Clive Plack. He would have cleared it, but tiredness sets in. You've been chasing the game. They're really proud of themselves, having put up a good game against Notts County. But in the end, that little bit of tiredness, playing for 20 minutes with 10 men, just caught them out.
I think you said that at half-time as well. That might well happen, and it did happen exactly as you said. The part-timers suffering in the end. Another conference team in action in the FA Cup, Accrington Stanley. They were at Bournemouth, and Accrington Stanley with a good result, of course, from round 1, beating Huddersfield, Nigel. And they went ahead. Paul Mullen, a financial consultant, after just 9 minutes, his 14th goal of the season.
Yeah, good ball in, and Mullen gets in at the near post. I think Sean O'Driscoll, when he looks at this again, will say, well, what was the marking there at the near post? But Bournemouth, a good footballing side, good youngsters there, kept pushing away and got their rewards in the end.
Marcus Browning,
yeah, a good lay back, and that's a fantastic shot. But again, Accrington Stanley doing very, very well in the conference, and taking Bournemouth back to their own ground. Yeah. Maybe still have a chance.
Woking in action as well against Kidderminster. Woking at home, so they might have fancied their chances, but it wasn't to be.
Yeah, Woking, doing well in the conference. Hard to beat at home, but Kidderminster now back under my old teammate Jan Mulby.
This is Dean Bennett, who got the first 2 goals.
Yeah, doing very, very well. I mean, it's a good shot, good hard shot across the goalkeeper there. They put them 1-0 up, and that settles the nerves a little bit, George.
And the second one after 64 minutes as well. Same guy.
Yeah, the goalkeeper unlucky there. He makes a good save, but can't hold on to it. But like all good strikers, you've got to follow in on those.
Steve Burton got the third after 74 minutes. The first time Kidderminster have been in the third round since 1994 when they got to round 5 in that good run they had.
And again, they're looking for a good draw in the next round. You know, when the big guys are coming into there, really financially, all these smaller clubs and the conference clubs, if they're in there like Telford, they want a good draw because they need the money in the coffers.
Not too many shocks. Aldershot from the conference in action as well, going down by the 1 goal, Aldershot, and they were playing Colchester. Rowan Vine on loan from Portsmouth.
Yeah, it was a late goal as well, George. You know, 83rd minute, you just think, well, we'll see that finishing line to get them back to the recreation ground. But what a fantastic goal it was from Rowan Vine. You know, took on everybody, just had a cool finish, just slipped it in the corner past the goalkeeper. But a bit of a sickener for Aldershot there.
Sheffield Wednesday struggling in the league, and they were struggling in the FA Cup in a big way, Nigel. 2 goals down at one stage to Scunthorpe United. 2 goals from Steve Torpey.
Yeah, Steve Torpey scores lots of goals at this level, and Brian Law would have been expecting this team, you know, to go out there and put up on a good show and probably beat Sheffield Wednesday. But they went 2-0 up and then couldn't hold on to it. And all credit to Chris Turner's side to come back into it. It's Peter Beagrie here, been around a lot. Fantastic ball in. Unlucky there, but comes back to Torpey and he doesn't miss from there.
Scunthorpe crowd loving that, every minute of it. 2 goals up, but then to credit Sheffield Wednesday, they came back, and Ndumbu Nsungu from the Congo getting his first goal for the club.
I'm glad you said that. Comes back off the crossbar there and he's just on the line, doesn't miss from there. A bit like me and you, George, we wouldn't have missed that either. And that turns it around then. You know, Brian Law would be saying to his team, you know, make sure we defend better.
90th minute, Grant Holt.
Yeah, what a time to get an equaliser. And Sheffield Wednesday and Chris Turner, they all needed this. Local derby, knocked in. And a good finish, and you know, gives them a chance now that they're going to the draw tomorrow as well. Both these sides thinking, well, it's all to play for. If they get a good draw, it does give them all a lift. And obviously Sheffield Wednesday then been at Hillsborough. There's a little bit more added pressure on you at home.
Yeah, a big club. Big money as well, third round.
And they need the money as well.
Absolutely, yes. Rochdale in action against Luton Town. And this was 2-0 to Luton Town in the end, Nigel. Rochdale getting to the 5th round last season, but Luton, Steve Robinson getting a penalty after 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's a good win for Luton, though, away from home. Rochdale was a difficult place to go and get something, but it's a definite penalty there. Lovely touch, round the corner, brought down, and that settles you down, doesn't it? 20 minutes this is. Up he steps, Steve Robinson. Good penalty.
Luton unbeaten in 9 games, so they're going well. And then Lee Mansell gets the next goal, the second goal, after 77 minutes, Nigel.
Yeah, but it's a good win away from home. Good ball in there, cut back. Keeper maybe should have done better there, but Lee Mansell following up gets his rewards for the energy he's been getting in the box.
OK, here's all the results from today's FA Cup matches for you, with Bournemouth 1-1 against Accrington, Bristol City 0-0, Danny Wilson against his old club there, Cheltenham 3-1 winners over Leyton Orient. Grant McCann got 2 goals there, he's tally now 8 for the season. Glenn Morris was sent off for Leyton Orient, the goalkeeper, for the 2nd time this season. Colchester 1-0 winners over Aldershot. Hornchurch losing at home to Tranmere Rovers. Gary Jones the goal scorer. Macclesfield and Cambridge 1-1. And Steve Wilson saved 2 penalties from John Taylor and Andy Duncan, the Macclesfield goalkeeper. George Abbey was sent off for Macclesfield. Northampton 4 winners over Weston-super-Mare. Oldham 2, Blackpool 5. Scott Taylor, his 100th appearance for Blackpool, getting a hat-trick, 13 goals in 13 games now for him. Peterborough 3-2 winners over Grimsby. Can't win at home in the league, but not so bad in the FA Cup. Rochdale losing at home 2-0 to Luton Town. Scunthorpe 2-2 with Sheffield Wednesday. Southend 3-0 over Lincoln City. Tess Bramble, Mark Gower and Jim Corbett, the goal scorers there. Swansea City 2, Stevenage Borough 1, Kevin Nugent and Lee Trundle's 15th goal of the season. Telford, the big shock of the day, conference team dumping out Brentford 3-0, a Christian Moore penalty. And Woking 0, Kidderminster 3, Yeovil Town 5, Barnet 1. And 2 FA Cup games on Sunday. Burton Albion, Nigel Clough and all against Hartlepool, his father's old club, and Port Vale against Scarborough. So, not too many shocks today in the FA Cup, just that Telford one, and they're quite a, you know, a good cup-winning, cup fighting team, aren't they?
New stadium, or new stadium there, so they'll be looking forward to the draw. I'd like to wish my old mate from Sheffield United, Russell Slade, at Scarborough. They play at Port Vale tomorrow. Wish them all the best there. Then they might have a chance in the next round as well. So they all these non-league sides and a lot of the lower division sides need the money. They want a big draw against the Premiership side to get money in.
Yes, we're one step away now from that third round when it all seems to come together and matter so much in terms of glory and finance. But coming up for you next on Sky Sports. Everton against Manchester City in the Premiership is a Premiership Plus offering on Channel 433. Southampton against Charlton is Super Sunday, Sunday at 3 o'clock on Sky Sports 1. Nigel, thanks so much for your company. Enjoyed it tremendously, and once again, we'll see you later on in the season. And, well, what you say, Notts County back from the brink financially and back from the brink in the FA Cup as well. From all of us, bye for now.